In this video, I will show you how to create the Canon Metal here shader, and we will add some parts maybe in rubber into our model, and we will see what parts we will use in rubber maybe. So first of all, I will just remove this layer. Okay, so just by remove the layer, where is that? Thank you, here. And you have now the possibility to create the shader. So the first thing we will do, we will add here a first fill layer. We start to know a little the process, and into that fill layer, so we will keep everything into the material as well. We will just use a base color, a little kind of bluish base color, but yeah, gray bluish base color, something around there. Okay, so we want something a little dark. Okay, and we will call it base metal, this one. Okay, we want something that is quite metallic, so we will increase the metallic almost at 1, something around there. And for the roughness, we will just keep it around here, keep it like that, maybe just a little less. We will see how it will act after, because we will just add an effect, which I want to show you how to add an effect on your base materials like that. So here we just have a base metal, so really simple, but we would like to add some texture on it. Not really mix another material with it, but just add some variations in the color and in the roughness. And for that you have some nice effects into Substance Painter. So to do that, you just have to make a right click into that, and you see that you can add generator, add paint, add fill, add levels. And what we would like here is to add filter. Okay, we would like to add a filter here, and we have a lot of filter available there. So when you select your filter, then after you can just click on filter, no filter selected here, and you see that you have a list of filters that are available there. Okay, so let's say I would like to, you can see that you have into the matte finish list, you have a few effects that are really interesting. And like for example, if I want to say the brush here, you can see that it will just brush my metal. Okay, and again, if I come back to the list, let's say I would like to take the galvanized here, and as it says, it will just galvanize my metal, and it will give, especially for metallic materials, really nice options. You have the possibility to manage the scale, for example, to make it more little or less little, manage the flakes intensity if you want less or more, but it gives really nice results that's matte finished. So let's choose one. For the one I did choose last time, I just want to show you a few. The green did looks very good. The hammered can be interesting in some cases, not really for this case, but for everything that is a little handmade, let's say. So yeah, for our purpose, we will choose here the raw. I think it gives a nice result, more or less. Here you can see that now we have kind of brush pattern and kind of grunge pattern here. So if you scale the grunge, you will have something a little less big. Okay, if you scale here, you will have you can change the pattern as well. So yeah, just by see your model and see how it reacts with it, you can see that already between this and this, there is something that is already far more interesting. Okay, so what we will do, we'll do a little the same system after for another layer, and the layer will be the edges or the scratches. And so we just for that we will just duplicate this one, because yeah, you can duplicate layers. We'll remove the matte finish on top, and this one we will call it edges, let's say. Okay, So this edge layer, maybe we would like something a little lighter on that. We don't want to change a lot of parameters on this, and maybe just manage a little the uniform color of roughness. We will just put it a little raw, a little more raw. We will see, and maybe for the edges we will remove some roughness like that. Okay, so we have this material and this material that we would like to mix with a smart mask that we will just use here. So for the smart mask, you have here the possibility of use the same that we did use last time. Okay, so here it was, from my remembering, we will use more or less the same like this. It will make kind of even design all along the model, and it was 10 scratches from my remembering. So we just click and drag on that, and it will just give the edges over here. Okay, so here we just have now the edges. It's not really what I would like. Let's see how it looks just maybe by increasing the difference, and to really see the difference, so we will just increase the level. Yeah, okay, so now we can see really the pattern, and maybe I will just increase a little there. Good, so now we have something already more interesting on that, a little more dirty, a little more scratchy. And as usual, you can select here your mask editor and manage here the global blur, for example, if you want. Here the balance or the contrast, you know already there's parameters that we did see last time by creating the paint material. Okay, then after, what we can do, we can add the same dirt that we have on that one. Okay, yeah, a little thing that we didn't make is that for the same reason the scratches will be a little under, so we will just put negative value here, very low, 0. Let's say negative 0.01 to start. It's a little too big for what I would like to. Maybe something 0.005 will be good. Okay, so let's see, without, with, without, with. Yeah, we will keep it like that, not too much, just to add a little deep depth into our model like that. Okay, so now I would like to add maybe some dirt, as I said. So I could add another layer and add the same kind of mask that we did use for the other, but I could go into the paint layer here and select the layer that I want to copy and just make a Ctrl+C, go on top here of my material canon here and make a Ctrl+V, and that's it. We did add the same kind of dirt that we had into the other material, just like that. Okay, and like this we are sure that the same dirt is exactly, the same on both materials, and so we will have an even design. So that's it for this one. But what we can do too, for example, if there's materials you are happy with it and you want to come back to it sometimes, and that you know it will be a good save timer to come back to it, to save this material. So how you can do that? So I will show you into both materials. We will just create a new folder into the layer, and what we will do, we'll call it paint sci-fi or whatever you want. Just rename the global material on it and select after you the three here layers and put it inside. Just click and drag inside, and now everything is inside. So here everyone is in the same folder, Paint Sci-Fi, like that. And what we can do with it now is just make a right click, and you can see that there is a new option, Create Smart Material. Okay, so now this layer, I can export it and put it as a smart material when I want. So it's a very good option there. And don't hesitate to use it, because like this, after you will just find it back. Like for example, here I made an example over there last time, just another paint that I made myself, and when it's like that, after you just have to click and drag and you will find back your options. So it's good when you have several designs that you want to make with exactly the same material. You don't have to come back to it, to all the options. You just click and drag after and it's finished. So it will be the same for the Canon metal. We'll make more or less the same. I don't save it here because I have similar already, but yeah, in case you want to save it, it's important to make it. So here, let's call it here gunmetal sci-fi, as you want. The most important is that you can recognize it after, then you select everyone and you put it inside, and then after you have the same option that is here, that you can create just a smart material into that. I will come back just maybe a little to the paint layer over there, manage a little the dirt maybe I would like a little less. So let's have a look on the dirt over there. If I increase or decrease it, maybe I will just decrease it, make just something a little bit cleaner. Okay, not that much, but yeah, something that will not disturb it too much. And maybe I will do the same with the metal scratches into the mask editor over there. I will make manage here the global balance to make it a little less scratchy. Okay, good. So now we have something good to play with, and that's it for creating the Canon metal material. I would like to add maybe some rubber into this part and this part. Maybe we can imagine that these parts here are soft parts. And how to do that? So we have already a gunmetal here. We could create another big layer like that to create a rubber. We have some already that are available, so maybe this time we will use it. It's simple materials. It's just here, if I put it on top, you can see that it will make all my material here into rubber. But it's just here, you can see a fill, a rubber base with a fill layer that they did put some texture into it. Then after rubber 1 to put some kind of dirt, and they did sharpen it after. Yeah, this is not really useful. This one we can remove it. I think it doesn't change that much. And then after, yeah, the rubber, I will recall it rubber. Okay, and for the worn, maybe we would like something with less worn, something like that. Not crazy, but yeah, just a little, not that much. Okay, good. And maybe for the color, I would like something a little more dark for both. So this one, yeah, maybe a little over there, and this one maybe a little over there. And as I would like to add just a little less roughness, yeah, to can have this kind of little reflections on it, that will be a little more interesting, that will make the rubber a little more interesting when you turn around. So when you want to add a material into a layer like that, you just add the material, and when you have to select just some parts like this, and that you know that it will be easy to paint, so you have different options of painting that can be interesting for this. So you can add here, as we did before, a black mask here, and you can just paint into it to add here some rubber into that part just directly like this. Okay, nothing crazy. We know already a little the process. Another option that that can be good here with right click, I just manage the size a little to show you that. Okay, so maybe a little bigger, somewhere here. So you can see that here we can just paint directly into the model like that. But what we can do too, we can, I just come back with Ctrl Z, we can enable here the symmetry. And when you enable the symmetry, you can choose your axis, but by default it's the X symmetry, so it works pretty well. You can see that in the middle of the object you have this line here, and that when I paint over here, you can see into the other side it will paint as well. So you can just do it manually if you want, just like that, and it will work for the parts that you want to add as rubber, for example. And you can create some complex materials with kind of this gun sci-fi, and then after some rubber, or maybe some here some lights after, and we will create lights after. So yeah, a lot of possibilities over there. On that one, I would like just here to manage the rubber and to show you how I would manage that. So we could just paint, like I did just show you, the part that we want, or we could use here the polygon fill option that makes you another option, that gives you another option. Like for example, if I take the polygon fill here and that I make a paint, you can see that it selects directly the polygons. And so it's even quicker if you want to manage like that. So you can see that it manages the triangles, but it can fill directly here. So the triangles or the polygons, but anyway, we have only triangles as we did export only triangles. And you can even select the mesh directly like this. And you can see that it just takes the mesh directly. Or you can select here the UV chunk, it will take the Iceland UV, and just like that you will just give easy result very quick, just like this. Okay, for our option, I think the mesh is a good option over there. Okay, so we will just select this one, maybe that one over there too. Okay, and maybe there's three here, this one, and this one, and that's it. We are good, nothing more to add. We can see that it's very quick with this technique because it takes really the geometry directly, and maybe this one for the shoulder. Okay, yeah, it can be good like this. Maybe this one, I will not put it like that, so I will just come back into the black here and repaint it like this. It will come back to my original gunmetal sulfide. So you can change here the color that you want if you want to manage it. And that's it. Here we have our rubber. We are happy with that. Maybe I will have a look without this option to turn around the model, how it will be. So this one I keep it, this one I keep it, this one, and this one I'm not sure. I don't really like it. I prefer it in metal. So I come back into the good option over there, and I will repaint it in black here directly over here. Good. And now we are good to go. You can see that we have more or less what we want. And that's it for this video, I think. So we have here a more complex shader with gunmetal and a rubber above it. And after, what we will do, we'll continue to make our shaders a little more complex. We will add some stripes, some yellow stripes over there. We will add some lights as well. We will add some little details like screws that we will put a little everywhere to make our design more interesting. We will add some glass into the viewfinder. All of this will be on the next videos until the end of this chapter about texturing in Substance Painter.